like no one ever gets in my way. Calling, everybody answers. They gotta see it, that's what they say. You can't believe it.
Well, that's what's up. It's the New York Hardcore Chronicles Live. What's going on, gang? Coming in hot after that last 4-hour show. That was wild. I needed a week and a half to recover from that. 4 hours of friggin' lunacy. That was pretty cool, though. I haven't had a crazy show like that in a while. Good to see everybody. I missed you. And I mean that. Yo, Scott Earth, what's up? New Jersey represent. Dirty Jers, what's up? Good, good. Greetings from the 7 train. Right. Stephen Messina, be careful. Don't stand too close to the edge there. I know you know better. Yep. Good to see everybody. Let me introduce my co-host. My co-host today is an artist and a bit of a musician hailing from Long Island, New York. She's the co-founder of Women of the Pit, which highlights fans and bands of hardcore punk while supporting gender equality since 2020. Coming at us from Cape Cod, Massachusetts, Lori Dawn.
Yes, I am ready for today.
Hail.
Hail.
What's up?
It'll be a good one today. We got a full house already.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's
Yeah.
I'm ready. Week and a half off, and I need it.
We had the weekends off. It was nice. It was kind of nice on Sunday to recover and everything. I had Overkill and Testament this weekend, and you had Coxborough.
Woo!
How did that go?
Coxborough was great. I went to I went and saw them. I saw them play on, was that Sunday? Sunday, right? Or Saturday? It was Sunday. Sunday.
Yep.
They played Saturday, and then I went and saw them at the Brooklyn Paramount on Sunday. I actually took this picture. Not that I'm any sort of a great photographer, but I snapped this with my phone. But it was incredible. They were incredible, and just. Well, you know what? One of the things I really liked about them is that they come out and they play solid for an hour.
Oh, wow.
They just bam, 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 bam for an hour. There's no. I'd rather see a band play short and hard than like drag shit out.
Well, I mean, sometimes it goes by really quickly. You're just like, wait, that's it? And they played like 14, 15 songs, and it's like, yeah.
An hour is about all I can handle at this stage of the game. I don't fucking care. You know, I don't give a fuck if you goddamn minor threat. I don't want to see you for an hour. I don't care. I don't care if they fucking dug up Joe Strummer.
Just short, quick. That's it.
I got shit going on. Come on, an hour? You fucking
My feet
bad
are getting
already?
tired, right? I know.
Come on, I gotta fucking drive home. Come on. If you can't deliver the goods within an hour, don't fucking bother me with your bullshit.
Exactly.
Right? But I'll tell you what. I went to Generation Records.
Yeah, how was that?
And I showed up, and I talked to Mark Yoshi, our incredible sponsor and my buddy, and he's like, I don't know who's showing up for this thing. And I show up, and the fucking line's down the block.
I saw that. That was incredible. That was incredible.
Yeah. So, that was, and then, so I mean, I've met these guys before, but it was a really fun, it was a fun day. Yeah, I got a couple other pictures. Hold on. So, here I am with
there you go.
with the fellas
taking
a picture, and they were really nice and accommodating.
Yeah, I mean, it's their, this is their farewell, right? So, how long have they been around for?
They've had the same lineup. This band has had the same lineup since 1982.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
That's like one of those successful marriages.
Right. These guys were so accommodating.
Awesome.
They were so accommodating that they even signed this guy's leg.
Oh my gosh.
This dude took the friggin' leg off. He's like, will you sign my leg?
That's incredible.
And they were like, yeah, sure. And they all signed this dude's leg. I'm like, did he say leg or did he say schleg? He's not gonna pull out his schleg, is he?
Pulled off his Schleg and
Yeah,
let
he
'em-
pulled off. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, that leg will be on eBay soon. Up on eBay soon. Yeah, right? That's funny. That's funny.
That's great.
And then I saw a dude with the prosthetic leg at the show that night, and he was friggin' hammered.
The same
Hammered.
guy? The same guy with the here?
The leg.
Okay,
Yeah.
with the leg.
The leg dude. Yeah. Half the bands in New York haven't had the same lineup since last week. Ain't that
That
the
is
truth?
true.
That's
Yes,
true.
that is true. And you always find like the bands that have stayed together for that long are like the nicest people, you know, because they generally have just lovely personalities. They can get along with each other. They can get along with people.
I genuinely felt that, like, when they came in, like, there was camaraderie there. Like,
Yeah.
the guys in the band were like talking to each other and laughing, and I felt it. I felt like some
That's
camaraderie there.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, like this, like in my band, like, there's no camaraderie. Like, we don't, like, they know not to speak to me directly.
Not to look at you in the face.
Yeah, don't make eye contact with me, and like, come on.
Yeah. I get it. Sure.
It's like when I worked on the Madonna video in the 80s, they said, listen, nobody make eye contact with Madonna. I'm like, what?
I think that's a great way to live, really. You had people walking around, listen, don't make eye contact. That's it.
Yeah.
No, don't talk to me. Love it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's true. Steve Berlin from Los Lobos was on the show a couple weeks ago, and those dudes are all original members, right? That's true. And rest in peace, Chris Marino from Morning Noise, who passed.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah. Only address my personal assistant. Don't tell him.
Who was your personal assistant?
Larry Kelly or my wife.
Larry Kelly.
Go talk to Larry Kelly. He'll give you a nice rude answer. I'm just kidding. And listen, I'm the most approachable guy you know. I'm just being silly.
That's good.
Yeah. Rest in peace, Ross the Boss. 100%.
Oh man, what a loss. Yeah.
Yeah.
Resting in Valhalla.
Yeah. Rest in peace, Ross the Boss.
Yeah.
Before we bring our
Great
guest
guy,
on.
great show. You should, if you haven't seen that show, you should look it up. Look it up and watch the show. That was a great show.
Yeah, he was great.
Yeah. He did it from his batting cage and didn't miss a beat. Really.
Yeah, here's a shot of me and him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great.
I actually texted Dick Manitoba when he passed and sent my condolences because they were childhood friends. I said, yo, you know, yeah, he, you know, some will say arguably he plays on the best Man-O-War records.
Absolutely. There you go.
Man-O-War, Man-O-War. What are we saying? We got to get Joey DeMaio on this show.
We did a couple of in-stores with Man-O-War back in the day at Agents of Fortune record store. Yeah, they were cool guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, very down to earth. Yeah.
Sure.
Surprisingly, like because like their stage persona was so, but very cool.
Death to false metal.
To false metal. Yeah.
I like the concept. Right. This concept of false metal. Can we?
Play on 10.
Can we move to false hardcore next?
I mean, we all lost our hearing at a Man-O-War concert, so we might as well have them on. Yeah.
Yeah. That said, what do you say we bring? What do you say we bring our guest on?
Yes.
Here we go. Today's guest is an American musician hailing from the Garden State of New Jersey. He's known for his work with the bands The Bronx Casket Company, DD Verni and the Cadillac Band, as well as his solo work, but is best known as a founding member, bassist, and principal songwriter of the thrash metal pioneers Overkill. Please welcome, coming at us from the great state of New Jersey, Mr. DD Verni. Hey, man.
Oh, it's like applause.
There you go.
Oh wait, I got that.
I did that when Lori came on. It was like, oh, the co-host. Nice. Nice, guys. Thanks for having me.
There we go. Awesome. Can't wait.
I wasn't sure if I can make eye contact with you, Drew. Is that cool?
On the internet, in this realm, you can. That's okay.
Okay.
But
right.
but you know what I always joke about on the show? I've been doing. I go out and you know what I get constantly. People will see me and they'll do this.
Sup?
I'll get that all night long. My wife's like, "What the fuck's wrong with that guy?" I'm like, "He's just saying it's just the way like we say hello, like in dude land."
Yeah. Dude land.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah. So, yeah. That said, yes. Welcome to the Garden State. How's things in the Garden State?
Things are good. We were talking a little bit before. It's a beautiful day here, which it has not been for a while.
Yeah.
And I'm hanging out here. I was out up at the beach earlier this morning. Anytime it's a nice day. I don't care what time of year it is. I don't care what month it is. I'm up at the beach. You're
a beach guy in your later years.
Well, even when I was a kid growing up, I grew up in Jersey. Every summer since I was 16, or since I had a car, we would pile in a car and go down the Jersey Shore. We'd sleep in the trunk. We'd sleep in the back seat.
Sure.
We would spend all our time chasing girls, drinking beers, and hanging out at the shore. So I've kind of been there early on, always loved it. And then I moved here, a while ago now. And I've been here ever since. Now I can't even imagine not living at the water. I've been here so long.
Well, let's bounce the ball back and forth. How did you come up? Did you grow up in a musical household, and how did music come into your life?
I grew up in North Jersey. Not a real big musical household. I mean, some. My dad was a big Sinatra fan. I think that's where some of the big band stuff and when I was growing up, the stuff was listening to AM radio when I was real young. You listen to Neil Diamond hits and Frankie Valli and whatever was on WABC, AM radio. Then I hit probably around
like make believe ballroom and all. Who was the guy that used to host ABC Make Believe Ball? William B. Williams. Was it William B. Williams?
That sounds right.
Yeah. I mean, we're the same age, so, and I always mention this on the show, how when we were growing, AM radio, FM radio were just those were the soundtracks to our lives back then.
Yeah, well, especially you're a kid, so you can't go out. I mean, you had to buy records back then.
Sure.
There wasn't just this app on your phone that you could access everything known to man. But back then you had the radio, so that was free. You listened to that stuff. But then I got a little bit older, and we started listening to punk rock. So like Ramones, Sex Pistols, Clash, Damned, Dead Boys. We're big Dead Boys fans.
You grew the Dead Boys were kind of I don't want to say they're from down that way, but I know where did you go to high school down there?
I went to high school at New Providence High School. So it was up there. And I think Dead Boys are from Cleveland. But I think so. I think they're from Cleveland.
Yeah, you know what I was crossing wires with is Shrapnel from Jersey, the band Shrapnel. Those guys, Phil Caivano and them, those guys loved the Dead Boys and used to come up into the city for the Dead. But did you get into? So was punk the first music that like spoke to you personally, that you felt like this is my stuff?
It was close. It was probably Kiss and Black Sabbath and the Ramones,
sure.
And the Damned were all at the same spot. Those were the things that were going on and off on my turntable. I would say probably it was more Kiss than anything else.
There you go.
Just
there
the
you
whole
go.
superhero thing and all of that stuff back in the day.
Sure.
Huge Kiss fans. But we loved punk rock too. That's why I think a little bit later, the first time I heard Motorhead, and I was like, oh shit, we could put it together.
Yeah.
Punk and metal can go together. That was like, oh my God, bells and alarms went off everywhere.
Yeah,
And I mean, if you talk to any of the thrash guys, all of us have the same DNA, and that's what it
Sure.
was. It was punk and metal could be mixed.
I got this just from doing my homework. Did you say you went to New Providence High School?
Yep.
Yeah. 1976, met Rat Skates at age 15 at New Providence High School. Shared music interests in hard rock bands Kiss, Aerosmith, Ted Nugent, Stars, Black Sabbath, Rainbow, and were introduced to punk rock music, The Damned, Ramones, The Vibrators, and Generation X.
Well, yeah, those were a bunch of them for sure. That.
Yeah.
But yeah, those were the those were the metal bands back then. Kiss, Rainbow, Stars opened for Kiss. I think the first time we saw them, so we started to get into them too. Before that, but it was always, I don't know, early on too. Black Sabbath and Kiss were kind of on my turntable, at all times. I think the only band that ever knocked Kiss, Black Sabbath, all of that off my turntable was Foghat.
Oh wow!
I don't know why, but
come on
Foghat
now,
live. I know
that's awesome.
Foghat live for a while there was just, I don't know, maybe that's where that whole Cadillac Band stuff, that whole boogie rock and roll, was kind of centered in that mix too. But
but I could see growing up down there, and your dad and stuff. That stuff was in the air, going to the beach, and that was sort of. I remember hearing a lot of Frankie Valli, Frank Sinatra, all that stuff growing up. That stuff was definitely in the air. Yeah.
Oh, for sure. When I was a kid. Plus, I come from a big Italian house, so it's like all the Goomba songs when we were kids. That stuff was playing all the time too. Every wedding I went to, every time my people would come over the house, and my uncle would like. Who was the stuff that he used to like Tom Jones?
Come on now.
Which had some of kind of that big band flavor to it too. So you're just around it a lot as a kid.
An interesting fact, Doyle from the Misfits' favorite musical artist is Tom Jones.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
He's awesome. I just listened to it a little while ago.
Yeah. Doyle loves Tom Jones because yeah.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah. But that makes sense. What was like the first live music you saw down there in Jersey? Do you remember like what was the first live shows you went to and what you saw?
Oh, the first concert I ever went to was Zeppelin at the
Garden. Oh, come on now.
And in '77. And I really wasn't that big a Zeppelin fan. I don't know. We got tickets. Me and Rat went, old drummer, and we had to catch the train from Hoboken home. It's like you couldn't miss the last train, otherwise you couldn't get home. So we had to leave during the drum solo. And we, So we were like, it was kind of like the whole place smelled like pot. We weren't big, pot smokers. We were more.
Was this at Madison Square Garden?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was the first show I went to. And then the second show I ever went to, I saw Kiss at the Garden on a live too. And that was a transformative, seeing that was just like, I don't know, it was totally inspiring on the one hand. And on the other hand, it was like, why would I even bother to try and do anything to compete with this?
Sure.
But it was... But it was, it was pretty jaw-dropping for us to see that the first time.
Yeah.
Were you playing bass yet, or did that inspire you to pick up an instrument?
I was probably just starting. The reason I started playing bass was because of Kiss.
Wow.
I had no interest in playing anything that Gene Simmons didn't play. I was like, I'm playing bass. I don't want to play guitar. I don't want to play drums. Not interested in anything except playing the bass.
Was that because of just the Gene Simmons image and persona and his sort of whole thing?
Yeah, I think so. we had a whole thing going on. We were weird kids.
Of course.
But when I was in high school, probably 15, maybe something like that. So none of us could play instruments, right? None of us could play, but we wanted to be a band.
Oh, you too?
So we kind of invented a band, and the name of our band was Myth, NYTH, which is
That's a cool
fitting
name
for that. So Myth was the name of the band, and everybody in the band got assigned a instrument. But not only did you get assigned an instrument, you got a name too. So, like the singer in this imaginary band, his real name was Fred, but we started calling him Billy because Billy Idol was a singer in Generation X. He was going to be the singer in our band, so his name was Billy. And a guitar player, his name was Ken, but we started calling him Nick because he looked like Nick Lowe. Nick Lowe was a guitar player. He was going to be the guitar player in our band, so he got Nick. Rat got Rat because of rat scabies, and because his last name was Kundrat. We all called him Rat anyway. And I got Dee because I was a bass player. Dee Dee Ramone was the bass player in the Ramones.
Right
That's why I got Dee. And
I like this concept of could you come into my rehearsal and name the guys in my band need names.
Well, it's like fake it till you make it. It's like, all right,
yeah, right.
Dee and you're the bass player. So, and here's a bass. Okay.
And but what weren't you Dee Blaze originally?
I was for a little bit, and we got a lot of that from the Dead Boys because they had Stiv Bators and Johnny Blitz and and Jeff Magnum and Cheetah
awesome.
Chrome.
That's
we actually had one of our guitar players. Also, his name was Cheetah. He got from Cheetah Chrome. There's another guy named Mike that we told Sid because he looked like Sid Vicious. So, and I call all these guys. I still know all these guys, and I still call them, and they call me by those names, not our real names.
That's awesome.
It's weird.
Childhood friends, man. That's great. That's great.
Fun.
Yeah.
And like, listen, all great punk bands start out with, and nobody knew how to play.
No.
So there you go.
No lesson.
Just learn together. Yeah.
So,
awesome.
a question: did everyone in Myth actually have instruments?
Rat had a drum set. I bought a bass after a little bit. The guy who's our singer, he didn't need much. The guitar player did have a guitar. So I think we were just on I don't think maybe when we first started doing this, any of us had instruments, and then we kind of it was very close though, the two things at the same time.
Do you remember what your first bass was?
I have it.
Oh,
in my garage. Yes, it's like a red Yamaha.
Wow.
Something. It's awful. But I have it.
That's cool. That's special.
Yeah. So I still have that one. But what did I get? Got it. And that was a weird story because I had that bass for a while, and then I graduated up to another bass, and that one kind of just got shoved under my bed, and then years later, my sister-in-law needed a bass, and she's like, "You have that just laying around. Can I have it?" And I gave it to her, and I forgot about it. Like 25 or 30 years went by, and she was moving, and I got a call, and she said, "Do you still want this?" I was like, "You still have it? Holy shit!" So yeah, she gave it back to me, and I got it out in the studio.
That's awesome. Now, you started a band called the Lubricants, and played your high school with that name, under that name.
We did, but I think, oh boy, that's rough right there. Okay, but that is we had to change it to Lubricants.
Okay, I was wondering.
We did that. So for a while there, we had Lubricants, and we would turn the U upside down so it looked like an A without the line. We thought we were so clever. But yes, we did. And I think the first we played at some talent show or something in high school. Like we were 16, maybe 15 or 16. And everybody in the school wanted to see us, right? Because we were like the punk kids. So it's like, holy shit, these guys are playing. So the auditorium was packed with all these kids. Wow. And we came out and played Blitzkrieg Bop.
Awesome.
So
that's the song everybody learns, right?
Yeah. It's the first one I ever played.
That's great.
Cool.
That's great.
Right.
And now this band then morphed into Overkill?
Excuse me. Is there? That's you on the far right, correct?
Yeah.
That is.
And are there any? Are there? Is that Rat second from the left?
Yes.
And the other two guys?
That's the left next to him is Billy.
Uh-huh.
Billy Vector, he was our singer, and next to him is Nick Fuse. He's our guitar player.
Got it.
But
Fantastic.
yeah, it was. I mean, you can see, like, probably when this picture was taken, we were just gotten in. Like, I could see studs and some leather jackets going on, so we were starting to kind of head towards metal, maybe a little bit. We were never, you know what it is? We were like big punk rock guys, but we were never into the punk fashion at all. Like none of that kind of stuff at all. We were, we were metal guys. As far as like, you weren't going to see us with Mohawk or plaid pants or Doc Martens. It just wasn't on our radar.
And by the way, Bill O'Leary, your old friend, sent me a bunch of pictures. So
okay, well, he's got one from back in the day.
Yeah, he does. And this is kind. I guess this
is Overkill.
This is Overkill. Okay.
Yeah.
And
the first Overkill, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. So how does the lubricants? How does that come to an end? And what is the impetus to launch Overkill?
Well, you know what? We had the cunts going for a bit, and we played CBs, we played Maxes, we played Trudy Hellers. We tried to play, around the city.
Oh wow, Trudy Hellers.
Yeah, we played a few bars and we did a few things, and we used to hang at Max's sometimes. I remember going into Max's and, you'd go downstairs and it would be packed, and like over in the corner. Remember one time I'm over there and it's like the Ramones and Blondie are sitting in a booth. It's like, holy shit, the Ramones and Blondie are sitting over in a fucking booth. So, yeah, it was pretty cool. But we did that for a little bit, and then we got to graduate, and the plan was our singer went to school down in Florida, and we were going to move the band down there, and we'll just be like, because we're like, me and Rat weren't going to college, he was going to college, we'll go down there and keep the band going. And I went down with a friend of mine first, and I stayed for about 2 months. And I got sick. I didn't like it there. I said, I'm out. And I got back in the car and I came back. Rat never made it down. So me and him said, you know what? We'll just keep looking for other guys. We'll find another band. And we put ads in the Aquarian, and we did a bunch of shit, and went on auditions for different things. And we eventually wound up running into these Blitz over and Rob Paseric. And we answered an ad in the Aquarian. And we showed up at Rob's house, went down into his basement and played AC/DC and Judas Priest and, whatever we were doing at the time. And it just clicked, and we were like, okay, well, we're a band.
I think a key word here is the Aquarian. And for those that may not know, on the other side of the world, the Aquarian was like, it was a magazine. It was a newspaper, like a weekly newspaper that had concert listings and want ads. It was like the Village Voice or the LA Weekly. I mean, every city had one. Shout them out from your city, but the Aquarian was like really the musician's lifeline in New Jersey back then, right?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you looked at everything. It listed every show. If you could afford to put an ad in there, we used to run an ad all the time. And if you're a bigger band, Twisted Sister could run full page ads. I was like, oh shit, a full page ad in the Aquarian, wow. Yeah. So yeah, that's how you found out about it. That's how you bought equipment. There was, used equipment for sale, musicians, all the clubs. I mean, there were so many fucking clubs back then, early 80s, with bands playing everywhere. So
let's touch on that a quick second. Sort of that Jersey. I know you guys weren't. We're getting to sort of you ramping up to start playing, but that early legendary Jersey club circuit, and we've talked about this a lot, is there was this really vibrant live music circuit that bands like Twisted and Rat Race Choir and Good Rats and bands like that could play every night of the week. I think somebody asked before, was Fountain Casino? I think that was that down your way?
Yeah. That's in Aberdeen, I think.
Yeah. But there was like this really vibrant live music circuit in New Jersey back then, right?
Oh yeah, it was. But you know what the thing is? It used to aggravate us. It was all covers.
Yeah.
I mean, you had to pay covers. I mean, you'd be lucky if you could slip in an original here or there. We used to like to go see Twisted because they would do kind of some covers, some originals. And you used to have to do 3 sets, which kind of sucked. It would be like, no, we're going to come out, we're going to do a show, we're done. That's it. Not doing sets. But you had to play the game if you wanted to get into the clubs. But I always say I learned how to play bass, playing along to punk rock records. But I learned really how to do a show and how to do play concerts from going to see Twisted Sister back in those early days.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
The first time I got a call from Rat, like, I don't know, whatever, on a Thursday night. It's like at 9 o'clock or whatever. He's like, drop what you're doing and get down here right now. Right now, right now, right now. And I said, okay. I got my car, went down to the club. I walked in. It was in between sets. He said, you got to check out this band. So place is packed. The band comes out to do their second set, and it was Twisted Sister. And me and him just stood out there with our mouth open going, holy fuck. They were killing it. And the covers they were playing weren't, the ones that everybody else were playing. They were playing the deep cuts on the Judas Priest and not Iron Maiden, but Judas Priest, Aerosmith, like the ones that everybody else didn't play, the heavier ones.
Wow.
So but just watching them do a show, that we were like, they're doing what we're trying to do, which is they approached playing a club like it was an arena. So they were going to put in as much ceiling height as there was. They were going to stack the amps to the ceiling. We were the same way. It was, we weren't called Overkill for nothing. We wanted more. And when we saw
was that like the mission statement early on?
I think it probably still is.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like the less is more kind of thing.
Yeah.
That was never, and you'd think from a punk rock background it would be for me, but that is not. Like, I'm a huge Green Day fan, right? I love Green Day, but they played Starland. It's like, no thanks. I don't want to see fucking Green Day at Starland. I want all the bells and whistles and the moving trusses. I remember when Kiss played L'Amour's. I'm like, no, I don't see it. I don't want to see this. I want all the shit.
I don't want to see a Kiss club show. I want to see Kiss at Madison Square Garden and Paul Stanley flying around the arena on the thing. And
right, all that shit. I want to see all the shit. If you're just going to play the songs, well, I could just listen to that at home. I don't need to come here and see that, So I was always bigger, better. I think when you grew up in the 80s, it was kind of like that. Bigger, better, more amps, more lights.
Yes, excess.
Yes.
For sure.
Rob King, 1972 asks, did DD self-teach or have lessons?
Oh, I self-taught. I didn't know fuck all.
I
didn't know. I always tell this story because it's so different. My daughter, when she grew up playing piano a little bit, and we gave her lessons, and she would go to she would go to a band thing that they had at the school where they would teach them how to play in a band. And this guitar player, you play the C up high and he'll play the C low, and they'll blend together. And then the bass player, you don't play the root. That's a little boring. You're going to play this. And they, kind of walk them through that shit. We didn't have none of that. We had to figure out all that shit on our own. And I was in Overkill. We were on our second record. I was just taking over. I was on Atlantic Records. This is now Atlantic, second record. When I first found out that the count off in the song is the tempo of the song. We didn't know that. We had it was 1, 2, 3, 4 start. There was no tempo. We could start a slow song. It would be 1, 2, 3, 4. Bow, bow, bow. It's like no friggin' idea. I mean, the simplest, most basic things we did not know.
Yeah.
I remember when we started playing Iron Maiden covers, we would learn the parts, and it would be like, why doesn't it sound the same? And we'd learn it, and then we stumbled upon harmonies. It's like, oh, that's why it sounds different.
Yeah.
Oh, it was like we didn't know fuck all, nothing.
there was a little bit of a learning curve in Overkill. I love the early stage gear.
Yeah.
Yeah, and could you fill us in on like how this came about? And because some of these shots are great. Some of the shots, this is great stuff.
Well, you know what, we were in our mind's eye. I think when I look back on it, I said, what I think we were trying to do was be a heavy metal version of the Misfits. That's what I think we were trying for. It wasn't working. But that's what we were going for. The skulls on the stage, the candelabras, the big chains hanging. I'm looking at these pictures that you're showing up. It's like, we didn't really wear a white face that much, but it certainly looks like we had a lot. We were just trying to make it look. We were trying to make it look pale. We wanted to look like we were dead. That's what we were trying to do.
Is that a Dean you're playing? What is that?
No,
that's Travis Bean. What is that?
I think it might have been a Travis Bean. It's an
look at the headstock. I think that's a Travis Bean.
And it was an 8-string, which I remember at the time. I just bought it because it was cool shape. And I took the octave strings off that, and I just put it as a 4-string.
That's awesome.
Why is there 8 strings on this fucking?
Who needs this shit?
So, again, I don't fucking know, man. But I think that's what we were going for. We wanted like a kind of a horror show, metal kind of thing.
That makes it. And we're not spending the whole afternoon here on Overkill, but just. This was the first thing you recorded, right? The Power and Black demo.
Yeah. Yep.
Any memories of kind of that early process of you 4 young guys going into record? Was that an adventure?
Oh yeah. Well, number one, you see that picture there? That's in my parents' base. That's in my parents' basement. That brick wall. Oh, we have a brick wall in my parents' basement. We'll go and take pictures there. When we went into the studio to do that, that was the first thing we ever did. And we were just kind of at the mercy of the engineer. We didn't know anything about anything. We brought in our equipment. He did what he did. And, for the time, it wasn't too bad. When all the tape trading was going on, you hear the Exodus 1 or, who else was it? Nasty Savage. And whenever that tape trading was going on, ours kind of held up. It was like, it wasn't too bad. But I remember when we went in, that was probably our first recording. Our second recording was when we did this EP, and we went into the studio, and the guy really didn't know much about thrash or what we were doing or what we were looking for. He said, "Bring in records that you want to sound like." So we brought in. I remember Rat brought in "Creatures of the Night" Kiss record. He said the drums like this, and Bobby Gustafson, our guitar player, I think he brought in Kill 'Em All. And he said, okay, guitars like this. And I brought in Holy Diver. And I said, the bass like this. And
this poor guy, poor fucking producer.
Right. And if you listen to that, there's not a thing anywhere that sounds anything like those.
Right.
But, and he said to bring stuff, that's what we brought. So it was a kick at the time.
Paul Stone asks, who designed the logo early on in the game? The iconic logo.
I did the bat and Rat did the logo.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow, you did the bat, huh?
Yeah, I did the bat and Rat did the logo. So the logo kind of went back and forth with, like, you see that logo there. Our first logo had a cracked cross with lightning bolts in the middle of it. And after a little bit, we got rid of the cracked cross because we thought, that's going to limit us, with, and, now you see years later, you saw Slayer and everybody else. It was like, what were we worried about? I mean, we could have left the cross. They could have left the cross. It made no difference. But, Rat did the logo. And we did, they had different versions of that before we finalized that on it. But that was it back in the day. Last
shot of that era. And Danny Spitz was playing with you guys for a minute.
Danny Spitz was, yes. He's wow. These are some scary fucking pictures, man.
No, these are awesome. I mean, you should. like you should almost consider like let's do a show.
You know what? Fuck you. Let's do a show. I know what you're gonna say.
Lori, didn't John Bush come on here and say that they were doing a show with all the armor or something?
With all the armor for do for charity. How is charity?
We've been.
How can we get this to happen?
I don't.
He's like, nah.
No.
Nah.
I don't know, but people have mentioned to us before. What would it take to get the cape out with Blitz and to have the drum riser that opens up and the Spog and I'm like, I just don't see that one happening.
Right. And that looks like a Rickenbacker you're playing.
Yeah, I was. That was kind of like the first real bass I got, and I played a Rick for all the first two or so record or early Overkill records and all the stuff leading up to it. It's the first real bass I got.
Did you? I mean, were you? I mean, obviously you were customizing these somewhat, right?
Yeah, I would get card pinstriping, and I would put spider webs. I had spider webs on basses forever, and I would put spider webs on, and always something.
Here's a good one. To Bill, if anyone sees those old pictures, you die. DD Verni. That's fucking awesome. That bass. Do you still have that bass?
That's a cool one.
That I do not have.
Wow.
I do not have. But what's funny is I traded that bass when I started using BC Rich. That became my backup, and it was just sitting there. And I really needed a guitar, so I traded that bass and got an ESP guitar that I've written every single Overkill record for the last 40 years on since I traded it.
Wow.
So that worked out.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I'd love to have that bass back.
When as the principal songwriter for Overkill, when you write, do you write on the bass or on the guitar?
Almost always on the guitar.
Yeah.
Now I'll pick up when I pick up the bass things come out, little intros to songs and kind of whatever. But I think it's hard to really write thrash songs on a bass. I mean, you can, I guess.
Yeah.
But I start playing the bass like a guitar. I was like, I might as well just play a guitar, and then I'll save the bass parts for whatever I'm doing. But I've said this before too. Is I don't really ever stop writing. There's not like, oh, you're in writing mode. I have a recorder with me. I mean, now it's your phone, but back in the day, I had a digital recorder in my pocket with me, no matter where I went. Before that, I had the one with a cassette in it, no matter where I went, in my car. And then proficient songwriter, man. Well, you know what? My brain just get clogged up. I mean, I'm just like, so it was helpful to get it out of my head and onto tape. So I'm always like, we have, this is going to be our 21st record, right? So, and you look at a band that's been around maybe as long as us, it's like, I don't know, like Anthrax maybe, and they have maybe 10, so it's like, how do you keep up with that? And it's just because of that. It's just because I never really stopped. So every 18 months, 20 months, it was just assembling what I had been doing for the 18 months before. So
I was sort of looking at it, and like you said, 20 studio albums in let's say 40 years. It's basically a studio album every 2 years. And I was thinking in my head, I guess what kind of happens is you go out and do the touring cycle for one record. While you're out there, you might have riffs and stuff in your head, and then you go back into the studio and start. So this is a process you guys did over the course, on an average, over the course of 40 years. I mean, basically a new record every 2 years. It's incredible. Very proficient.
Well, what's even more incredible about it is that every single one of them are strong records. Like every single one. Like I have been an Overkill fan from Feel the Fire, and I have purchased every single record without even hearing a song after it because I know it's going to be good. There are other bands where I'm like, let me just hear a song or two. Let me see if I'm going to buy this one. But with Overkill, it's just like new record, purchase, new record, purchase. There's not,
that's great to hear. I mean, I always say that the worst thing I can ever hear and I'll hear it sometimes, and it just, I don't like it. Is when someone says, "Listen, the new record came out." When I first listened to it, I didn't love it, but now, man, I can't stop listening to it. I'm like, oh, fuck you. I want the first time you fucking put it on that it said great, not that it grew on you.
Yeah.
That's not what I'm shooting for. I mean, I'll take any compliment I can get. Hey, if you love it, great. But what I'm shooting for is that from the second I put it on, I loved it. I was like,
Yeah.
all right, that's what I'm going for.
That first song always punches you right in the face. Really, it's like, it's great. It's lovely.
Yeah, that usually sets the tone for the for every record. Is I usually have the opener. It's usually almost always the first one that I write, and I have it kind of sets everything kind of in motion for that. But yeah, it's just for us the benchmark was Motorhead, and that's who we looked to and watched, and they were very similar.
Yeah.
Where people ask all the time, it's like, well, when are you guys going to retire? It's like, well, Motorhead has 23 studio records, we only have 20, so we still got work to do.
Motorhead knocked them out, and I think some of their best records are the last couple they put out. I love those last couple records they did.
Yeah. I mean,
they're fucking fantastic.
They're pretty consistent. As far as putting it out and having them be great quality records. I a lot of times like bands when they get a little bit older. There's something about the early ones. There's like a fire and an energy that you can never recapture. But then when a band really kind of finds itself, man, sometimes the material is just so fucking good.
Absolutely, I agree, and I agree. It kind of matures a lot too, especially if like in your case, you've done other musical projects. And so how much of that seeps into the next record that you write for Overkill? Going from like, say, the Bronx Casket Company to Overkill, you mature as a musician.
I learned all those projects, kind of these outside projects I've done, I've learned, oh my God, so much more. Because the people that you work with are just from a whole different world. They bring, and you just learn a lot of things. I don't know that I bring it to Overkill. It's nice to get away from Overkill for a little while because you do all that stuff and it's feeling great. And then nothing takes the place of, you kind of turn the page back to Overkill again. And it's like you turn the stereo up in your car and the windows are fucking shaking. It's like, all right, that's pretty fucking great.
It's great to have that. It's great. It's great to have that dynamic, and I can relate to that in what I do. Definitely want to shout out our good friend and supporter Mike Valente. Where are you? In upstate New York, Black and Blue. I just saw he posted. That said, here he is. Excuse me. What's up, Mike? Yeah, my first Overkill show was '85 with Slayer. Could you give us a take on? Well, I guess the way to play it would be this. Can you give us some perspective on what this place, Lemoore, meant to how it fit into the Overkill lexicon?
That was the center of the universe for us. That was the sun. We were, every single band played there. That's where we saw every single band that came through town was at Lemoore's. Before we got to play there, we just dreamed about playing there. We hounded them and hounded them and hounded them till we got our foot in the fucking door. I saw everything there. Every band you could think of, I saw there. But I met a lot of friends there, and the whole scene that was happening at the time, centered out of Lemoore's. It's for me and for the bands around here or whatever, that was our home away from home. It was where my whole youth was spent. A million stories. It's a legendary, great place and a big part of my life for sure.
Yeah, and you ended up, the Parente brothers, who basically ran Lemoore, had loud and proud management. And they managed you guys. They managed you guys for many years.
Yeah, for a long time. Actually, George was the guy who we used to pester. Like we would bring him the tapes, so he'd come on, give us a show, and he's like, well, we'll see. And we would bring him something else. We bring him some flyers. We played a show in Staten Island. It was pretty full. We think we could do. And And finally, he gave us a fucking show, and it went okay. And then okay, there's one.
That's a little bit later. This is a little bit later, but this is just a cool ad from you guys playing Lemoore. Yeah.
Yeah, and White Lion there too, and Man of War spelled wrong,
Yeah.
but okay. But he finally gave us a show, and then he gave us another one, and then we got some support shows. I remember we opened up for Wasp there. We opened up for Wendy O. Williams there.
Wow, that's a good one.
We opened up for, and we did, and then our shows just started to grow. We were playing the 500, then we were playing the 7, then we were playing to 1,000, then we were playing to 1,200, then we were playing to 15, then we were selling out, then we were doing 2 nights, and we just kind of grew our base more and more and more, and that was right at the start of the thrash scene. Like when we first started playing Lemoore, even when we were doing pretty well, the whole mosh thing and the pit really was just starting. And then into our life a little bit at Lemoore's, it was like, we can't play without a barricade. It's fucking pandemonium here. Kids are all over the stage. It's fucking nuts. And all that stuff came to happen at Lemoore's.
Yeah. I got one for you. Hold on. I got a good one for you.
I remember some of those shows, and I also remember a lot of the shows from Sundance on Long Island.
Oh, God.
That's another big one, yeah.
It was
how about this one?
Long Island on Sundance was hot.
How about this one?
And
I had dinner the other night with George Parente.
There you go.
George, his birthday is the day before mine.
Is that right?
George, yeah, I call him every
There
day.
he is, George Parente, co-owner, surviving co-owner of Lemoore. I've been getting together with him on lately.
Oh, you know what? You should just show up with George like at 1 o'clock in the afternoon and just let him talk. Just tell me stories, because he's the. I mean, we think we spent time and grew up at Lemoore's. I mean, the stories he tells us.
Yo, I've heard some shit, man.
Yeah. It was a time, man, for sure.
Yeah. I've heard some wild ass stories.
Yeah.
Already.
It was a crazy time, fun time. And George, George and Mike ran the club for the most part. They had some partners later on too.
Yeah,
It was the Parentes,
for sure,
forever.
And he has really kind things to say about you and the band in those years. He has really fond memories of you guys working together back then.
We had the best times. George would come out on the road with us sometimes. I was on the phone with him, every single day for years and years and years. While we were coming up through the ranks and kind of doing our stuff, and I know his family and his wife and his kids.
Sure.
And my wife would babysit his kids sometimes.
Oh, wow.
And so it was, and he's
George has an interesting story. He was a musician early on. I never knew that. George came. He came from like a musical angle of this thing. I never knew that.
Yeah. He was a singer until my voice went.
Yeah.
Well, he was, him and Mike would always say, Mike would always call George his little brother. He wouldn't call him George. You see my brother? You see my little brother? You see my brother?
Right.
All the time.
Yeah.
But Mike would always say that he was a high class thief and George was a junkie. Neither of them were those things. But that's kind of the vibe of the two Parenti brothers for sure. We love, and I'm like I said, I'm Italian. They were Italian. We had a lot of things, you make the 7 fishes on Christmas, or do you do this? What do you put in the money off? And we had a lot of kind of Italian stuff going on too. That we had a lot of fun with.
And a little bit of a tie-in in the era that I had the production company, and we were doing the music videos, and Paris Mayhew was directing, and I was producing, and we did Biohazard and Typo Negative. twice I remember we wrote treatments for Overkill videos. Once I remember we went and had a meeting with Mike and George about doing a music video for Overkill, but for whatever the reason, I don't remember what, it didn't happen.
It's possible. You know, you get
Yeah.
submissions
Yeah.
for treatments, you know, for
Yeah,
different
yeah.
things, and for whatever reason, yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, it's possible.
Yeah. Just before we take a break, this is one Steven Messina sent me, and you mentioned it, Lori. Sundance in Bayshore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sundance. I think that was in '87.
Yeah, that is. Yeah.
Yeah, 87 with Testament. And that was probably one of the most crowded shows I've ever been to. One of the hottest shows.
Sundance was always like,
you cannot move. Yes.
and it was at fucking 8,000 fucking degrees. And you go on at 2:30 in the fucking morning.
Yes.
Insane. It was crazy. But hey, we were just happy to play. You know, it was like,
back then they make you stay in the they keep the club open till 4 because they want people to drink, right?
right
Till 4 in the morning, right?
Yeah. So you go on. Yeah, we would go on at Lemore's even. We'd go on at like 1. We'd play till 2 something, and then you know people would just kind of hang in the bar and the last call, and you know because you wanted them to stay. I used to live in Manhattan. We would be playing at Lemore's. I would leave at midnight, and I'd take the train out to Lemore's when we were playing.
Yeah, me too. I mean, we would leave it around like 11 o'clock.
Yeah,
to drive out there.
Yep. It's like save me a parking spot.
And then on the way home, we would try to beat the sun. You know.
Yeah. Well, we used to stop at a diner on 12th Street.
Us too. Yep.
And we would get we would get breakfast and go home and fucking.
Where was this, Lori? In Bayshore? Yeah. Where was this?
So Sundance was in Bayshore. Yeah.
Yes, I remember Bayshore. Yeah.
Yeah.
But the diner was in Bayshore?
The diner I went to was in Manhattan.
Oh, Manhattan. Okay, got it.
Yeah, and we would when we were at Lemore's, we would hit a diner on the way home.
Yeah,
and then try to make it home before sunrise. And
before Suv NJ says, when you saw Overkill at Sundance, you got home to New Jersey after sunrise.
There you go.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. It was a late night.
Yeah.
Hey, before we take a break, let me ask one more question here. Tell us about your relationship with BC Rich, because your incredibly unique basses turn up. Many of them are incredible. At what point did you get involved, and how with BC Rich?
God, who first turned me on to them? I wonder if it's the Slayer guys, maybe. Yeah, it might have been them, because I know Tom was playing a BC Rich bass back then. So I might have got it from them. I don't know. It was somewhere on maybe our second record. And I actually saw Blackie Lawless playing this bass. And I was like, oh, whatever the fuck that is, that's fucking cool looking. Get me one of those. So that first endorsement bass I ever got was
that a Warlock?
It's a Widow.
A Widow.
And not many people play it because I guess it's awkward to play or whatever, but I got used to it. But that one's an Ironbird. I played that one for a while too.
Right.
I saw Geezer Butler playing that, so I was like, okay, I want one of those too. But I played that for a while. But people a lot of times don't realize that, you know, like the Widow, the main bass that I play, I have, you know, a bunch of them. I have a bunch of different ones, but the main one I play is not like a version. That's the same bass I've been playing for 35 years. It's the same one. So it's fucking hammered. I mean, but it's the one. Every time I have a new one made, I'm like, it's just not the same. I get another one made. I've sent it out to get spec'd and blah blah blah.
Is that this one?
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's a
beauty.
That's the same bass I've been playing since 86, 88, something like that. I just keep changing the front. Like that's a sticker. I'll pull that off, and then there's flames under that.
Oh, I see.
I'll pull that.
It's like a wrap. It's like a car. It's like a car wrap. You just
Yep.
That's awesome.
Pull that off, and then there's flames that were painted a while ago, and then I get bored of that, and then I have like a mirror that goes on the front, and I get bored of that. But that's why. Oh, you have a bunch of those. I'm like, no, it's the same one.
You mentioned DD Ramone being a big influence. I could see it here in your stance.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
that was
Yeah.
the first. We didn't take any lessons, but I did know two things: you had to play with a pick, and you had to play your bass as low as you could possibly play it.
That's right.
Because that's what was fucking punk rock, man. You had to have that.
Yeah.
That's right.
Now I'm used to it. Me and Frank from Anthrax sometimes will laugh about. We're like the two lowest playing guys. Like they just sling that thing down as low as it can go and fucking play.
Frankie plays real low, like Steve Harris playing with his fingers, like Steve Harris.
Well, that's the thing is that Frank can really get it down there because he doesn't have a pick, so he can get the full length of his fingers. It's like, man, it's like yours is down on by your ankles even.
That's right.
Yours is just as low. So
okay, so what's going on with this?
Oh, yeah, that's a big one. That's like a barn door carrying that fucker around. But
Jeez.
there is a couple of songs, like the top is an 8-string and the bottom's a 4-string. So when we play Horoscope and I play the intro, I need both necks.
Nice.
And again, it's that same, over the top, bigger, better. I couldn't reach a third neck unless I put it way up high. But that's fun. Whenever I take that out, we did one tour with Symphony X a while back where me, Dave, and Derek all came out with double necks. And I said, I don't think that I've ever seen 3 guys in a band all playing double necks at the same time. So that was overkill for a while there. That was kind of fun.
And is that what took the toll on your shoulder?
Oh, who the fuck knows? I mean, I think all of the above is a lot of years of abuse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, let's take a sponsor break. Dee, you got a couple of minutes. Let us do our thing, and we'll come back and we'll continue on our journey. Okay?
Sounds great.
See you in a few. All right. Halftime, Lori Dawn.
It's halftime.
Yeah. Way to
Everybody
go.
take a pee break. Let's go.
Everybody make a run for the bathroom. I'll see you in a minute. That's what's up. It's the New York Hardcore Chronicles Live, episode 422. 422. Hunch back. DD Verni, Overkill, DD Verni and the Cadillac Band, and much. Yes, DD is a great guest. And we're rolling on here. So pay attention to the sponsors, everybody. Patreon, we could use your support, and we'll be back in a minute.
Since 1992, Generation Records has been a mainstay of the New York metropolitan area music scene. Today, they offer a diverse selection of new and used rock, jazz, indie, hip-hop, punk, hardcore, metal, blues, soundtrack, and reggae LPs, as well as t-shirts, posters, and other merchandise. They buy used record collections and music memorabilia and will pay you top dollar for them. House calls made for large collections in the tri-state area. Call or email generationrecords@gmail.com and follow them on Facebook and Instagram.
Will that be cash or in debt?
Do you mean debit?
Yes. Sorry. Another eternally satisfied customer.
Yo, what's happening? I'm out here at one of our all-ages Sunday matinees on the Bowery. I hope that you are enjoying today's show. I just want to let you know that the New York Hardcore Chronicles Live needs your support. Please step up. There is a Patreon page that has a lot of unique program. Shows are announced there first. Lots of good stuff. There's a PayPal address right there on the screen if you want to make a contribution. There's also a super chat function. You could do that. But the bottom line is this show exists because of your support. We're going to be doing it for a long, long time. Thank you. for all your support through the years. Back to the show.
Conditioned by indoctrination, conditioned by society. You're a victim of the digital age, a 21st century casualty. Open your eyes, you're losing control. Open your eyes, put down the phone. Conditioned by misinformation, it's just the media telling us lies. Decipher fiction from the truth. Society's slow and tragic demise. Open your eyes, you're losing control. Open your eyes, put down the phone. Everyone's got their fucking...
And we're back. It's the New York Hardcore Chronicles Live. Yo, let's talk about some upcoming shows. Sunday, April 5th. That is this Sunday. Brian Fair of Shadows Fall will be back on the show. I promise we won't just talk about the Grateful Dead. Wednesday, April 15th, Joey from DOA, director Scott Crawford, and special guest Paul Rackman, producer, will be coming on to talk about the documentary film Something Better Change. Wayne from Hatebreed, Sunday, April 19th. Yo, Side Trips time, co-hosted by Joel Gustin, Gary Lucas, Captain Beefheart, Gods and Monsters, Jeff Buckley, and Solo. Incredible guitar player. It's time for us to take a side trip. Wednesday, April 29th, Curse Mackey, Incendiary Device. Of course, we got the record coming out. We're going to bring the whole gang on and talk about the new record, New York City, on Wednesday, May 6th. Greg Norton from Husker Du and Ultra Bomb on Sunday, May 10th. Sunday, May 17th, Punk Island 2026. Yes, we have a stage. The Back to the New York Hardcore Roots has a stage this year on Punk Island. We are bringing Arlene and Antonia, the organizers of Punk Island, on the show. We're going to talk about the history of this great event. This has yet to be announced. It will be announced tomorrow. Photographer Jeff Ladd has a book coming out called Move Up Front of his incredible hardcore and punk photos. Jeff Ladd will be on Sunday, May 24th. And this was announced yesterday. Our good friend and supporter, Jesse Mallon, has a book out, Almost Grown. He will be on the show Wednesday, June 3rd. So lots going on. Once again, please support the show. There's the Patreon QR code right there. Best way to support the show. Of course, the show needs your support. I know in a lot of ways I'm preaching to the converted, but please support the show. If you watch the show and you enjoy the show, I implore you, it's $2 a month. It's $5 a month. Get on Patreon and please get down with the show. There's also there's a super chat function. If you have a question for our guest or you just want to make a donation, there's a super chat function, and there is there's a PayPal address as well. Please support the show. Also, please reach over and give the show a thumbs up or a like or a heart, and let's get this motherfucker in the algorithm. So thank you. That said, let's bring our co-host. What guitar is that behind you? That is that's a LTD. That's a LTD, and it is a nice guitar. It's one of it's actually my wife's guitar, and right?
Yes, it is.
And listen, when we got married, it became my guitar. So
Possession is 9/10 of the law.
Listen, your shit is my shit now, all right?
Marital property, unless it was in the prenup.
It's my guitar now. What are you talking about? So, yeah, it's an LTD, and then the other one that I play is above me, the one I play in My War, which I mentioned many times. I like this very inexpensive Ibanez is my favorite guitar. I love playing it. It feels good in my hands, and it stays in tune. So I really enjoy that.
Very nice.
Yes. That said, let's bring our guest back on, Mr. DD Verni. Hey, man.
Hey.
Let me put everyone in their spots.
Proper order.
Yeah.
Okay.
There you go. Hey, Drew, Lori, just in. I'll watch from the beginning when it's over.
Yes,
Okay.
don't miss a second of this.
Fair enough. Go back and watch from the beginning. That said, let's try to get out of Overkill land, and let's move on to some other stuff. One thing that I really enjoyed listening to, fantastic, is the Bronx Casket Company.
Oh.
Really,
Okay.
really enjoyed it. How did this project come together? Who was in it initially? And is it true that you guys actually never played out live?
We have done some shows.
Okay.
Maybe 2 or 3.
Mm-hmm.
Not many shows. I'm trying to think when it was. Probably 1990, maybe maybe later than that. No, probably, I don't know. 99, I think it was actually the first record. So that's a while ago. But I was just kind of itching to do something a little bit different. There was a couple of things that were on, this is probably 15 years into Overkill, So there was a couple of things that were on my bucket list to do. And one was to do kind of a Sabbathy, doomy kind of record. One was to do a punk rock record, and one was to do a big band record, right?
Right.
So those were all on my list to get to someday. So Bronx Casket was the first one that came along because Jack Frost, who is a guitar player in that band, he and I became friends. I used to have this studio in Shrewsbury for many years, 20 years or something like that. And he used to hang out there, and we used to hang out together. And he's like, we should do something. And so I kind of had this knocking around in my head. And I was like, all right, maybe we should do this. And he knew a keyboard player, Charlie Calv, who had played and done some different things. So I didn't know any keyboard players. I'm in a thrash band. I don't know any keyboard players. And I asked Tim, who was playing drums for Overkill at the time, if he'd be up for it. And he was. So we just needed somebody to sing. And Jack knew this guy from North Jersey named Mike Hideous, who I didn't know. And so we reached out. I had some songs, and I kind of put some stuff together. And we reached out to Mike and Charlie, and they were both into it too. So we started sending demos around. And we I don't even think we played. I think we just did it from demos. We didn't even get together in a room and play. We learned the demos together. Then we went into the studio, I think up in Connecticut. I had a friend where we did the Overkill records, and he did some kind of deal with me. And we went in there and we did the first record. And then, started shopping it, just sending it to different labels or whatever. And a couple of, indie, smaller labels picked it up. And it was great. It was just a great experience. So much fun working with some different guys, working on, the Bronx stuff was, there's big choirs and huge synth pads and, all kind of piano parts and all kinds of vocal harmonies and shit.
This record, this is a great record, man.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That was I think that was the first one where I started singing, or I sang some on that one.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a fun one to do too. That was, we did, some of it is like, you got to try it to see how much you like it. So I did it and I was like, oh, this is fun. I'll definitely do another one. So, but next time I'm going to blah, 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 blah. So, that's why we were talking before about, 20 Overkill records, but I have 4 Bronx Casket records, 2 solo records, and 2 big band records. So I have 30 records in 40 years. I'm like, fuck, I need
Incredible.
a break.
Yeah, I really liked this stuff. It was really, the production on it was beautiful, atmospheric, just really moody and good doom metal, I guess, doom, goth. I don't even know how to characterize it, but it's just, yeah, I really, really enjoyed that record the most, the Sweet Home Transylvania, I think.
All right. That was,
it was fantastic.
Yeah, it's good, man. I really enjoyed it too.
Highly recommend.
Anybody out there that's like a fan of Typo Negative,
Yeah.
or a fan of Typo Negative or the Misfits?
Yes.
Very leans into that a little bit. I mean, I saw Mike Hideous sing for the Misfits in Europe. Yeah, I was out in Europe. I saw him actually singing for the Misfits. He's got a great voice, Mike Hideous.
Yeah, and he's a good guy.
Great
I remember.
groove to it. Yeah, great groove, really dark in a lovely way. Yeah.
Yep.
And then you took over, and then Mike left, and you kind of took over vocals, correct?
Yeah. Yep. We did a show or something, and it was like we were talking. I remember driving back from the show. Me and Jack were talking. And he was like, "Maybe you should just sing," and I was like, "Maybe I should just sing," because I think it really wasn't a. I mean, it was billed as a band, but it was really kind of like a solo project. There was some, I wrote the songs on it. I was playing a lot of the instruments, doing a lot of stuff. So it's like, why don't you just jump in and to do that? And I think Mike was getting a little, he had his band, The Empire Hideous, which was more like a solo project too. And I think was used to kind of running the show a little bit and chasing his vision, which is all good, and I think maybe after 2 records, he was like, I don't know if this is going anywhere. It feels like a solo thing of yours anyway. So yeah. And then at that point I said, okay, I'll jump in and try doing this for a little bit. So then we did that one, which kind of continued along the lines of kind of the last 2 a little bit. And then the one after that called Anti-Hero, that one, we kind of changed, that one changed up a bit.
A little bit. Yeah. I gave that a listen. Yeah. Yeah. That was, was the Anti-Hero sort of the swan song of the Bronx Casket Company, and then you went on to other things? Was that sort of the end of it there with that project?
Yeah, I think so. I think at that point, I felt like I had kind of done and tried everything that I had wanted to do, and I was itching.
Yeah.
To do more of a punk rock record, so kind of steered away from that a little bit, and then we did do one compilation record for Bronx Casket where we put all the records in, and a whole bunch of bonus tracks. We did a Misfits tune that Mike Hideous sang on. We both sang on that song, which was cool.
I didn't see that. What Misfits song did you guys do? Do you remember?
We did Ghouls Night Out.
This is the Ghouls Night Out. It's all yesterday. Ghouls Night Out.
Yeah, that's it.
And
it was great.
A Doom version of Freebird as well, right?
That was a different version of Freebird. It's funny that we're talking about this now because I've listened to that for the first time yesterday. It came up on my Spotify when I was driving home. It's like, number one, we did Freebird. It is so fucking weird. A weird version of it. So weird.
I didn't hear that.
Oh, it's good. It's good.
I tell you, DD, I really, when that came up, doing my homework, I was like, wow, I fucking love this. This is really great. I told my wife, man, you got to listen to this.
Yeah.
Well,
she's like, I'm a hardcore dude. I'm a hardcore dude. I married a goth gal, of course, right? I mean, that's kind of how it goes. Right?
Yeah, I get you. Well, then she would probably be into it. And I know Jack, I talked to Jack just like 2 weeks ago, and he was saying, you want to do some casket shows? I'm like, I mean, does anybody want a casket show? He's like,
I do.
He's like, we never played in Europe. Well, maybe we could get on a festival. I'm like,
hell yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Sure. I mean, maybe, so you never know where that would be like. And I remember I got a call from a friend, a few years ago, and they were thinking about doing a Peter Steele tribute show in the city. And they were going to have all these people down, all these bands down. And he was like, would you come and do? I said, well, if anything's for Typo, I'll come down and do something. But it never wound up happening. But so you never know. Maybe
this music was also used in a musical.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah. That was very fucking weird too.
Yeah. Am I getting this right? Hinton Battle got involved with you guys?
Yeah, it was my director and choreographer. You know Hinton?
Huh? I know who he is. Like what?
Oh,
what's the story with that?
I know that was
what
I got. This is my yeah. So I'm a metal guy and I'm married to a psychotherapist. So you have a goth
That makes sense.
girl. I have a psychotherapist. So anyway, she.
Well, that explains it.
Yeah.
So
Good.
she's good at connecting stuff, like, you know, this from that. And, you know, she's been seeing patients for many years. It's kind of what she does. And she's like, you know, all these Bronx records, they kind of go together. They feel like a story. And I'm like, I didn't write them as that, but it could have been a conscious train of thought or some such shit or anything. So so she thought it could be a show. And my sister-in-law at the time was a playwright in the city, and she got a hold of the songs and she put together a script. And she said, would you be up for being involved with this? And so I read the script, and I had kind of been working on a Bronx Casket comic book as well. And it was kind of based on the comic book and then some of the songs. And then she put an original story with it. And I went to see Cats once when I was 20. That's the extent of my musical theater.
That's my theater. That's my theater
experience.
Oh, let me guess. It was at the Winter Garden Theater. Right?
Yeah, it was actually. So at the time, that was it. So I got involved with it, and she said she was working with Hinton. You know, who had won all these is it Tonys for
yeah,
yeah. He was like a 4-time Tony winner, and he was. And so they said, you know, we were going to bring in this musical director, this guy named Timothy Graffenried, who was the musical director on The Wiz and Sophisticated Ladies. And so before I knew it, I was in a room and we were, you know, in meetings talking about the script, and I'm following along in the script and like, oh, here's a great place for a song. And I'd be writing a song. Okay, circle song. They want a song here. I'm going through a script, song here. And I had to write a bunch of songs, and they were using a bunch of songs from the records too, you know, like the Green Day musical, where they would kind of pull us. Yeah, it was kind of like that a little bit with a bunch of new stuff. And so one day I work into rehearsal, and, you know, there's a full cast there, and they're all dancing and they're all singing. And I'm sitting there just looking around going, what the fuck? I'm in a fucking metal band. What is happening? And we had this girl named, at the time, we had this girl named Cody DePablo, who was the lead in our show. And she was on NCIS, did this big TV show. And our lead guy was this guy named Constantine Morales, who went on to Broadway and was in Rock of Ages, and he was up for a Tony. So we had like all this shit going on. And I started, because I was so involved with it, I started to listen to other stuff. You know, I started listening to Phantom and started listening to Les Mis and trying to get an ear for this kind of thing. And so little by little, I've come to be a person who likes musical theater now. And I go to Broadway and I buy the things that I like. And there's a certain kind that I do like and a certain kind that I don't like. And I have opinions on this. And I'm like, so I went from having no idea that this world even existed to having just the funnest experience. It was a great time. And it really got going pretty well. I mean, I was signing contracts for a while that were like, if this goes to Broadway, you get paid this much and you're going to have 7 producer seats. And how are you going to share this? And I was like, what the fuck is going on? But then I wasn't involved in that world very much, but I think a lot of things at the theater level, television, movies, once you start doing producer showcases and money people start getting involved, then it starts to kind of go south a little bit, or it can. They move on to other projects, and then, you know, it's not going to be so much this and whatever. So it wound up just kind of dying on the vine, but it was a lot of fun, a fun experience.
It sounds like an exciting moment there, but yeah, welcome to the film and theater business, right?
yeah,
which is a lot like the music business.
It is, but you know, I remember when I was doing this, like Hinton saying to me, you know, this is not how it goes usually. You don't just kind of go up the chain like this. And I thought that's exactly how it goes. You're in a band, you make a demo, then you do an EP, then you get a record deal, then you go on tour, then you just move up the chain. Isn't that what happens? And he's like, no, it's like a whole different world with this. So it was just a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun.
Cool. Hey, have you seen your Hardcore Legends trading card?
No?
Yeah, there you go. Look at that. Boom.
Very look at that.
Yeah, very cool.
Okay. Where did this come from?
This comes from this is Hardcore Legends trading cards. Josh, I think Josh is in the chat room. Let me show you the back. The back is really good. It was really helpful as I was doing my homework for the show.
I've never seen that. The way they put statistics on the back of it, like a baseball player.
Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Can they make me taller?
Yeah. Yeah. This is really.
Let's do this. I gotta put on glasses to read this. My God, it's tiny.
DD may be most well known as the metal bass player, but he's also plays guitar and sings for DD Verni and the Cadillac Band, a jazz swing band featuring upright bass, a horn section, and female backup singers.
Yeah, that is true. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Look at that. It's funny. I went to a funeral years ago, and I'm sorry, I didn't go to it. I heard about this on the thing where a guy was such a big Mets fan, he got buried in a full Mets uniform, but the Mets card that he handed out was a baseball card with all the statistics on the back.
Oh, that's cool.
That's a great idea. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. Nice touch.
Yep.
So.
Oh, he said there will be an edit to the back adding Myth. And here's another one. He just made this one special for the show. This one's actually very cool.
That is nice.
That's a cool one.
Me and the girls. Yes, there you go.
Yeah. Hey, Josh, reach out to DD and get him his cards, will you? Josh will reach out to you.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah. Hey, let's talk a little bit about this. Let me get the a visual here, which is, I know, Lori, one of your favorites. Let's talk about DD Verni and the Cadillac Band and what was the impetus to this. And this is really fantastic. And how's this? What's going on with this these days?
Well, this is just one of the funnest things I've ever done. I've been having such a fucking good time playing this kind of music, writing this kind of music, working with the people who play this kind of music. It's really just been a whole kind of separate experience. Working with the guys who played in Setzer's band and getting to know horn players and getting my head around horn charts and arrangement charts and it's just a lot of fun. It was a little intimidating at first.
I would kind of think so. I mean, look at this crowd, man.
I know, it's fucking insane. That's why it's harder to do shows. It's like, all right, let me call 13 people to see if they're available on this one fucking day. It's like freaking
there's 13. I just counted 13.
Yeah, that's lucky 13. That's a
love it.
Yeah. But I started kind of writing this like during COVID. I have a studio here at the house. So, while everybody else was cooped up and doing nothing and blah, 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 I was in the studio every day. It's like, oh my God, I never had this much time in the studio in my life. I had my kids living back home with me and family having dinner. I was in the studio all day. I was like, this ain't so bad. I don't mind COVID so much.
Yeah, I agree. I didn't mind it either.
Yeah.
Me neither.
So I wrote all these songs and I was working with a manager at the time. And he said, oh my God, I love this. I should hook you up with this guy, Johnny Hatton, who's a bass player who plays in Brian Setzer's band. And so he hooked me up with him just to do horn arrangements. And I sent him the stuff and he loved it. And he said, yeah, I could bang these horn arrangements out. And he said, I could play bass on it if you want too. I was like, oh my God, really? That'd be fucking great. So we wound up doing that first record. He knew some horn guys out in LA. He did the arrangements and played bass. So we got some different guys and we did the record. and I just had so much fun. And we did a couple of shows just to see if I would like that. And I like that even more. So on this record here, on this second record that you see, I had so much more experience with everything that I was doing. I got to really up the game. And I asked Bernie Dressel, who also played drums in Setzer's band, and he loved the material too. So he came on board. So I was like, oh my God, I have the bass player and the drummer from the Brian Setzer Orchestra are willing to play on my some dopey thrash players, swing band.
It's pretty. Don't sell yourself short. It's pretty great.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it would be like somebody saying, I'm going to write a thrash record. Oh, let me go ask James Hetfield if he'll play rhythm guitars on it. That's what getting these guys to play on my record was like. It was like, holy shit, these are like the guys who invented this fucking genre. So anyway, I was really fucking pumped up. And they turned me on to a new horn arrangement guy who had worked with Rod Stewart, and he knew some guys who played in the Eagles and some other guy who played in Paul McCartney's band. And it's like all these like serious musicians who have done all this shit. And again, I'm just this fucking thrash guy going dum-de-dum-de-dum, okay. Hey, great. Come along, guys. And
do I remember correctly that you guys, don't you play around Christmas time?
Yeah, we started that last year, doing some Christmas. I think that's going to be an every year thing. We do some Christmas shows, but
let's go.
I want to go. We had so much fun. We have so much fun playing and those guys were fun because they thought, like I'm a serious musician, blah blah blah, and here's this thrash guy. Wow, we get to play with this thrash guy. So they're on the opposite end of me going,
that's cool.
Can you believe this thrash guy called me? So
that's awesome.
Between the two of us, and you sit around with these guys and, they're telling stories, about, Sinatra. I'm hearing Sinatra stories. I'm hearing one guy played on Liberace's record and he's telling me stories. I'm like, this is not, you're hearing Lemmy stories that I'm going to tell you, but they wanted to hear the Lemmy stories. They wanted to hear the, the early Metallica stories. They did. And I was getting the Sinatra and the Liberace stories and the Bobby Darin stories. So
that's great.
And it's a fun group of people. The two girls too, the Kingston and Graystar ladies, they've been there since the beginning and they are just a fucking hoot. I just had the best time with them. I would just hang out with them all the time if I could. They're just a lot of fun. The whole thing is it's just a blast. It gives me the feeling of the early days of Overkill because it's so new. Everything is so new, and the people are so new. And when you're in the band,
good stuff. Yeah,
fun shit.
Yep. Great guitar player in the band. That guy. Who's that?
Yeah. That is actually not our regular guitar player. Our regular guitar player's name is Angus Clark. He plays in TSO. He's a great player too. But this guy was filling it. This is what I learned too when you have 13 people in your band, these kinds of bands, that people rotate all the time. Well, Bobby can't come, but my friend Danny can come. It's like, well, he doesn't know the songs. Well, he reads the charts. I'm like, see, I don't read charts. I get it. Okay, so just it took some getting up to speed on kind of how these horn sections work, how piano players work. Singing was a little intimidating for a little while, but now it just feels like fun. So I'll keep doing it. There's going to be, look around for that. There's going to be some announcements on that soon for some stuff.
We want to come.
Yeah. I'm excited to come out for that. I love this music. It kind of reminds me, obviously it was like the stuff that I used to hear at my grandparents' house, Glenn Miller and all, Duke Ellington and, Ella Fitzgerald, all that swing music and jazz. I just absolutely love it, and some of my favorite Christmas records are actually, like swing and big band records. I like listening to them. So, it's just fun, happy music, so
that's what I like about it too. I always say it's like comfort food, it's like anybody, it doesn't matter. There could be an 11-year-old and there could be somebody who's 70 and it's just kind of, it's like cookies or ice cream. Everybody just kind of likes, if you like music, you like this kind of stuff because when you strip it down, it's just 3-chord rock and roll,
Absolutely.
with a lot of stuff piled on top of it.
Absolutely. I was going to say, it seems like every project that you're in, it has that kind of like aggressive edge to it.
Right.
Well,
when I worked with the guys on this too, so many of the players are used to being told, don't be so busy, play down, stay out of the way of the vocal, don't be too intense. And I came in and said, I want you to go for it on every fucking note. And if you're in the way of the vocal, then the vocal's got to fucking step up. Because it's like I play in a metal band, and I come from the everything's louder than everything else. You either step up or you get left behind. And they were like, yes, we get to go for it. I'm like, fucking go as hard as you want. And so they're up for it. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Hear that and appreciate that as your trademark to this.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I tried. Usually, and Eddie Trunk said to me, he said, "Oh, that almost sounds like an Overkill riff." I'm like, I guess you could hear maybe a little bit of that here and there, but it's the energy of that. Whether it's Overkill or Bronx Castle, there's always a certain energy that I feel in the riffs of the song that I guess comes from me. And you can hear it in the stuff that I do, regardless, I think, of the genre.
Yes, I agree with that for sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Is Dreadful Company? You put that out 2 years ago. That's your solo record that came out after Barricade, right?
Yeah, that's the second one. Yep.
Yeah. Is that your last sort of? That was the last release in 2024. Your of your solo stuff, right?
Yeah, I don't know if there'll be more of those. I had a blast doing those too, and I would like to do maybe some shows with that too. I've talked to some people about maybe doing some stuff for that, which I never have. I've never done, with the Verni solo band. But that might be fun to do. I know on the last record with that, I called Charlie from Anthrax played guitar on a song, not drums.
He's a great guitar. He writes all that Anthrax stuff on the guitar, right?
That's what I had this one song, and I'm like, I'm not very good at solos. I played the rhythm guitars on it, and I said, who can I get to play solos? And it's like, a lot of guys I know are shredders. It's like, I don't want a shredder. It's like, who do I know who understands punk rock and metal? And I was like, oh, Charlie played on that SOD record a little bit. I called him up, and he said, send it over. So he did a solo on a song, and I had a guy Virus who plays in the band Dope. He's a great player too, and he did a few solos too that were great. And Jason, who was in Overkill at the time, played drums on it.
Jason Bittner.
Bittner played drums on it, and Zeus mixed it. That was a
wrong with that
record to do. Yeah, that was a pretty good record.
Yeah.
Yeah, highly recommend. Yeah.
100%. Hey, let me take a quick sponsor break, and let's come back and take questions from around the world. Okay.
Sounds good.
I'll see you in a minute. Lori, give me a second. That's what's up. This is the New York Hardcore Chronicles Live. We are sponsored by blah, 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 and the Texas Silver Rush. They're a jewelry design firm and boutique store located in the birthplace of the Texas country music scene in Fredericksburg, Texas. They specialize in working with musicians in all music genres to design and create unique one-off pieces, as well as to style them for stage, album covers, promo photos, and social media exposure. Their client list includes Rock and Roll Hall of Famers Greg Rolle, Ringo Starr, and of course, my friends and yours, Agnostic Front. Information and online sales are being taken at their Facebook and Instagram page, and of course, www.texassilverrush.com. She Devil's Coven is a prominent female-owned business based out of Wallingford, Connecticut. Owner Rachel King Keys comes in full force, being extremely versatile and multi-talented as a candle maker, traveling makeup artist, and event planner. She's established her identity as unique across the map since 2020. Be sure to catch her on May 3rd and 4th, debuting her biggest show yet, selling her goods in New York City at the world-famous makeup show located at the Metropolitan Pavilion at 115 West 18th Street. Be sure to give her a follow on Instagram and Facebook at She Devil's Coven. Come on now, Minty Fresh, my friends and yours. Minty Fresh Presents are a promotion company that put on hardcore metal shows at Locals Bar in the jewel of the Garden State in Hennepin. Founded by Chris Gullis of Bulldoze and Frankie D'Angeli's of Silence Equals Death, the shows are all ages with plenty of free parking. The kitchen's open all night and the bar till 2 a.m. If you're a band looking to play and you don't totally suck, or if you do suck but you're a fuckload of people, reach out to them at mintyfreshpresents@gmail.com. Ticket pre-sales for events are available at mintyfreshnj.com. Check them out on Instagram at mintyfreshnj and help spread the word to support DIY, hardcore and metal in Central New Jersey. Minty Fresh Presents. On that note, this Saturday, Minty Fresh Presents at Locals Bar. It is a benefit for our good friend and supporter, Kelly Cal. Fury of Five, Sworn Enemy, Strength for Reason, Enrage, Breast. Listen, you want to get pounded into the pavement by a bunch of beatdown bands? Come to Manalapan. Come to Locals. Minty Fresh Presents. And right, Lori?
Free parking, you know? There you go. You had me at free parking.
Listen, don't worry. If all it takes is free parking to get Lori Dawn to the show.
That's right.
And
lots of free parking. And if I don't have to parallel park, that's a plus.
A bunch of beatdown bands, including Fury of Five, who I used to manage. So that said, a little bit of a tour here. Stephen Messina's playing April 10th at Kate's. The next free 16+ show at A7, the birthplace of New York hardcore, Sunday, April 12th. Rebelmatic, Tree, Blackout Shoppers, Catching Hell, and Oedipus Triple Rex. DJ Cindy Half Rats, Sunday, April 12th. That's the next show coming up. That is that one as well. Yo, Incendiary Device, our first record release show out at the Meat Locker. And don't get the wrong idea by that name, the Meat Locker. Apparently, back in the day, it was actually a Meat Locker. The new record, New York City, New Jersey record release show, Incendiary Device, Chemical X, Indie Ivid, and Scary Hours, April 17th. Tell us about this.
Okay, so we have the Spring Artisan Market over at Bridge 9 Records in Beverly, Massachusetts. That is on Record Store Day. So you're going to want to come in, spend your money on some records, and then see some great artists with their stuff. We've got, Timmy Tanker and Pixel Palmer, and we got some stuff from Mike Gallo. He's going to bring some, Mike Gallo won't be there, but his art will be there. And I've seen some of it. You're going to want to see it. It's really cool. And it should be a great day out. That's in Beverly, Massachusetts. Footsteps away from Salem.
Right on. Hey, April 25th, we're going to be down in Philly playing Creep Fest along with Bad Luck 13. So get your shoes and socks on if you want to see some destruction. We will have records. They're apparently just been delivered. What else? Hosting a Generation Records book event with a couple of authors, Sunday, April 26th. And then we have the ID record release event at Generation Records on Saturday, May 2nd. The next day, and Zaguri headlining A7. The first show we are doing in Tompkins Square Park. Mephistopheles, Incendiary Device, The Phoenix Within, Star Car, our annual Tompkins Square Park show going on. Make sure you come down to that. Overthrow, May 31st. Creep Fest, Rebelmatic, June. Punk Island. Yo, Back to the New York Hardcore Roots has a stage on Punk Island this year on June 27th. The lineup will be announced soon, but you better believe, you can bet your sweet bippy that it will be bands from our family, from the A7 Bowery Electric family. That will be. What's the lineup for Punk Island? I can't divulge it yet, or they'll throw me off the island. And then tell them about this. We got this going on.
Okay, well, this is at the end of the summer. We have our another park show with My War Butterbrain, Worlds of Chaos, and Sonic Bomb. And Women of the Pit are going to be doing a school supply drive. So for our local schools. So come on out, bring a notebook and a pencil, and join us for a great show.
Yeah, we're doing the My War We're doing the My War thing in Tompkins Square Park. Let me see if there's anything else. Oh, yo, just announced this the other day. It is the end of the world as we know it. Bad Luck 13 playing September 12th in Tompkins Square Park. So get ready for the end. It's the end of the world as we know it. That said, let's bring our guests. Questions, please post your questions. Go deep, get weird. Let's bring our guest back on, DD Verni. Hey, man.
Hey.
Let's see what we got.
I think if there's any way that Lori could do the voiceover for my Google account so I can hear her accent every time I ask it something, I would love that.
Okay.
Just say, hey, Google, what's the
Got
weather? The weather today is fucking hot. That would be.
Listen, you don't want none of this.
Yes.
What are you asking me for? Just stick your head out the door.
Yeah. The fuck is wrong with you? Stick your head.
I was thinking about doing like an OnlyFans where it's just me abusing you with my accent.
People tell me I have a heavy Jersey accent. Actually, I don't know Glenn Danzig, but a lot of people say, "Oh my God, you sound like Glenn Danzig." That's like, and he's a Jersey guy. I don't think I do, but you do.
All right, let's take some questions from around the world. We're just gonna kind of pick around here. Francis Sawyer says, Thin Lizzy's album Jailbreak celebrated its 50th anniversary last week. What made the band decide to cover the track Emerald? What is the process you go through in deciding which tracks to cover?
We don't do a ton of cover songs. A lot of times the labels are looking for like a bonus track for Japan or for vinyl or something like that. So that's where we usually look for a cover tune. And we were tossing some around. I think actually Dave was the one who suggested Emerald. Because I know Thin Lizzy some. And I know, obviously the boys are back in town and I knew Emerald and a handful of others. But I think he suggested that one. And then we started noodling around with it a little bit. And it was like, oh, we could definitely, there's some juice in this one. So that's how that one, we wound up doing that one.
Very cool. Joshy asks, I swear I saw a photo or video of DD playing a Kramer axe bass years ago. Did I imagine that? If not, does he still have it?
No, I was playing a Kramer axe bass. I had a friend of mine who had one, and I used it for a little bit. God, what video was it? I can't even remember. I think maybe Spiritual Void video. I'm not sure, but yes, I did have a Kramer axe bass that I borrowed from a friend of mine that I used for a little bit because it's Gene's bass. Come on, I gotta play it at least once.
How many are you a guy like? How many basses do you have? Are you a guy that's like has a lot of his stuff still? Like how many basses do you think you kind of have?
Well, I mean, I don't think I have that many. What would be a lot? What would be a lot?
Okay, my guess is based on that comment, people. My guess is he has like 50 basses.
All right, it's not that many, but it's probably like 30. Right. I would think somewhere in that range.
Right,
it's a pretty big pile.
Yeah. Are these all in your house, or do you have them in storage?
I have a studio, and I have a good chunk of them there, and then I have a bunch in storage too.
All right,
because there's some that you just can never part with. Even that I don't play. I'm like, oh God, I forgot about this one, but I can't get rid of it. My kids will have to do that when I'm dead.
Yeah.
Hand them out to my nieces and nephews. I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh God, this is a great one. Ed Greg Detox. Mr. Verni, hello from your frozen food guy from your local Stop and Shop. That's fucking great.
Oh, that's my guy. Oh,
that's awesome.
Because I go to the Stop and Shop all the time. And
that's awesome.
I got my guy Eddie over there. He runs the meat department. So I go over to him and I say, how's the fillets today? And he's like, and he's all tatted up, it's like, and then this is the guy over in the frozen food section. He's like, oh yeah, I can hook you up with this. I can tell you when this is going on. That's funny.
Listen, welcome to the New York Hardcore Chronicles Live. Stop and Shop has good prices. Listen, we're shouting out everybody at the Stop and Shop today. God bless.
Yeah, that's it.
Phil in Belgium asks, "Hey, can we find the Bronx Casket and Cadillac records over here in Europe, DD?"
I think so.
Yeah.
You know what? Yes, but you know what? They're probably all mail order at this point.
Yeah.
They're both on Deco, so I would think if you go to the Deco site, you can just click and buy. It will show up at your doorstep.
You feel this one however you feel appropriate, but I feel like we'd kind of be amiss to not ask. Count why isn't DD out on the road right now with Overkill?
Well, there's a few different reasons for that, but I would say probably the main one at this point is that I just need to kind of rest this arm some. And this was, we're just support on this. This isn't our tour. This is a Testament tour. We're just kind of tagging along. So it was, I had another surgery done a little while ago. And it just at this point, for something like this, I'm like, all right, maybe it's best I just sit this one out. So our friend Christian was filled in and bada bing, bada boom. And, you're just rolling on.
Yep.
But you're not going anywhere. You are still a tenured member of Overkill and going into the future.
Oh yeah. I mean, I'm writing right now. I have most of the new Overkill record done, demoed up, for the most part ready to go. I just did a couple of new things yesterday. I thought it was ready to go. Then I had a couple other things that I want to add. So for the most part, it's all done. I gave it to Blitz, I guess, a while ago. And he's been noodling around with it. So over the next, 6 months or so, probably we'll jump in the studio somewhere along the way. And I would think we're probably looking at a release early next year, February, March, something like that. We got a couple of calls about some tours and some things then. So we'll see.
Cool.
That's great. That's awesome. And I just saw Overkill the other night with Testament with Christian on bass, and it was really good. Yeah, it was good.
Yeah,
so it gives you a little chance to see somebody else in the bands, whatever. I missed you, but I'm looking
I get a lot of
new record.
Lori was so excited. I'm going to see Overkill and a DD, and then I said, I don't think DD's doing this tour. His shoulder's healing.
Yeah. No, not on this one. Well, like I said, because it was if it was something else, I probably would have jumped out there, but it was support, and I'm like, I could skip this one. I think it'd be okay.
Yeah, but that's brutal too. Like with the arm and everything, it's
I made that exact mistake. Yeah. I shattered my clavicle, and I had surgery, and then we got offered a tour, and instead of going to physical therapy, I went right out on the tour, and it was one of the stupidest things I've ever done in my life.
Yeah, you only get one chance to heal right, and then everything after that, you're just trying to,
Yeah. Well, I had it done once. I had the surgery once. I did all the PT. They told me I was good. I went out on the road and I completely ripped it off again. I come back and I had to do it all over again. And now the problem is that.
Is that a rotator cuff? Excuse me.
Yeah, and a rotator cuff and a bicep tear on both shoulders.
Good Lord.
So yeah, it's just old guy shit. But now it's like if I blow it off again, if it tears off again, it's shoulder replacement, and I'm really trying to avoid that.
Yeah, man.
But what's fucked up though? It's only playing bass.
Is that your right shoulder, your picking arm?
Yeah.
That's the one.
That's what it
is. That's the one that gets it. Yeah, because your arm is sort of extended in a weird way. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like I can't play. It's like sitting down anymore at all. I can play standing up, but if I sit with my arm kind of locked like that, I can't play it. I can't even get through a single song before it's just But I can on a guitar. I don't know. It's something about the way I hold the pick and the amount of torque that I'm putting on a specific spot. But that's the way it goes right now. You got to get strong and get it back to place so I don't have to fucking worry about that shit anymore.
Yeah.
That makes sense. It's that stance will do it to you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah,
can I answer this one for you? Hold on. Let me answer this one for you. Roger asks, I have a question for DD. Do you remember leaving me in Mexico on a weekend run? This is Roger from Massachusetts. Yeah, listen, Roger, about the Mexico thing, the tequila, you were just hammered out on tequila. You were being a huge pain in the ass. We couldn't deal with you, and we just left you behind in Tijuana. How was that?
Is that what happened?
Well, number one, Roger from Massachusetts, fuck you, because he's a Patriots fan. If it's the Roger that I'm thinking of, and I don't remember leaving him in Mexico. I do remember playing quarters with him and the guys in Motorhead in Berlin, and getting him so drunk that he threw up in the bathroom, but came back to the quarters table to play. Excuse me a minute. Went, threw up, came back, and was playing quarters with me and Mickey D and whatever. Yeah,
Puke and rally.
But I don't remember. I don't remember Mexico. But
it's like something out of like Breaking Bad or some shit. It's like, and then I woke up and that's what tequila does. Yeah.
We had.
Here's one from our good friend, hailing from Queens, Mike DeJean, who just produced the new Agnostic Front record. He says, standout show for me, Overkill and Leeway at the Old Ritz. Hetfield came out and did Fuck You with the band to close out the set. Epic.
Yeah, that was, and you know what's fucked up? I don't think I have ever seen any video from that show.
Wow.
But Bobby G, our old guitar player, was close with James, and he said he's going to come out and do a song with us. And we was like, okay, well, that'd be cool. So I remember James was on the side of the stage, and we played. And when he came walking out, and when the place was pretty packed, when he came walking out, the surge, like for the crowd was like up to the front. When he came out to play with us, but I think we did Fuck You. I think we did just Fuck You. That might have been the show. I don't know if it was that show when James was there. We did another show at the Ritz where Joey Ramone showed up backstage, and we asked if he could introduce us.
Wow.
And he came out and said, good evening, you all. Please welcome from New York. I was like, oh my God, Joey Ramone. It was pretty cool.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
Is that right? Josh just sent me this thing. He said, that is the quarter from the Motorhead tour. Is that right?
Oh.
Is that right?
I mean, I don't know. I have to look.
What makes you?
Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. Because the Motorhead guys had never seen quarters before. It's like,
right.
You never played quarters? We grew up playing quarters, but
sure.
Yeah, we had, and actually in that club too, in the front of that club, I went up after we were playing for a little while. There was a swing band playing, and me and Dave, our guitar player, and Mickey were sitting there watching this swing band loaded in Berlin. It was pretty cool.
Wow. That's great. Good. This is thrash metal family. Good question. Thank you. Any fond memories of Overkill's first European tour from 1986 with Anthrax and Agent Steel?
Oh yeah, my God, that's the first thing we ever did. It's the first tour we ever did. First time somebody asked me for my autograph or to sign a record or any of that kind of stuff. We were like, wow, they know who we are. We're like a real band, like a professional band. I had so many great memories from that tour. I can remember push starting the bus. We had to push the bus like the old cars, right? Because the bus wouldn't start. So us and Anthrax had to get out, push the button, and the driver had to pop the clutch to get the thing started so we could get to wherever the gig was that we were playing. We had a lot of fun with the Anthrax guys too. I don't know if it was, I don't know if it was Anthrax's first time in Europe. It might have been their first time there too. And what's funny is you'd think that Anthrax being from New York and us being from Jersey and New York, and Danny Spitz being in Anthrax that I would have known about them. I would have had their record. I had no clue. I had never heard of Anthrax before. I didn't know their record. I didn't know really much about them except that they were on Megaforce with us. They were like another band. I had never seen them before, nothing like that. And they came out, opened up with ARR, and I was like, fuck, this is a fucking good band. They were really, really good.
That's interesting. I always kind of thought that like that all you guys were in cahoots together. The Metal Militia and like all you guys really, it was an incestuous scene, but I guess not really.
Some of it was like, the Metallica guys, the Slayer guys, Venom guys, Raven, but Anthrax, the Metal Militia. I think the Metal Militia was, that's the Old Bridge guys, the Old Bridge Metal Militia.
Right.
It was all those guys, and that was here in Jersey. So all those Bulldozer Bob and Metal Joe and Bobby Ojo and John Boy, all the militia guys, they're still, friends of ours. They still come out to shows, still show up here and show up there for there. So. But Anthrax not as much, I think, because they were way out in Queens. I mean, Queens may as well have been Ohio when you lived in New Jersey. Yeah, so.
And speaking of that, this kind of ties in. What about the show from '84, the one where Overkill opened for Metallica? What was Cliff like to you at the time?
I don't think that we really saw them very much. It was, we didn't even have a record out. That was before we even had a record.
Sure.
And we kind of knew the guy who's the promoter there, who was bringing Metallica in. That's how we got the opening slot. And it was in Port Jervis, I think. And we had played there once or twice before. I didn't really have much contact with Cliff. I've known James and Lars and Kirk through the years, but didn't really have any interaction with them. Even the guys always ask us about Pantera, and it's like, I never met any of the Pantera guys, never played with them, never met any of them. They're like, how is that possible? I'm like, just never crossed paths.
Just one of those things. This is a good question. Westchester neighbors. Hey, Dee, do you recall how you reacted when Overkill's music was being played on MTV's Headbangers Ball or radio stations like LA's KNAC? I mean, that was sort of a heady moment for Overkill, right?
Yeah, that was. I mean, anytime you saw yourself, your thing on, TV or on the radio, or really not even on TV or radio, or that was really the big deal. The more the big deal was that you were kind of doing something that your heroes were doing. You know what I mean? It's like they played Maiden and now they're playing us. So it's not like just being on the radio. It's like we get to do something that Maiden did. We got to do something, that Ozzy or, whoever else, you looked up to at the time. It's like, wow, we got in the gates. It took some fighting, but we got in the gates, and we're part of the scene now. So that was always great. That's still a great feeling, when that happens.
Yeah. Overkill's in Robert says Overkill's in my big four. I think Overkill's in a lot of people's big four. Honestly, I think I hear that a lot. Just Overkill's in my big four.
Yep. Yeah.
Well, I mean, especially it's going to be a little, the gene pool is going to be a little tainted here in the New York area. We'll definitely bump up a few notches because, the hometown fans and stuff. But even that, just to be included in any of that, there was a handful of us in the early days, and some of the other bands just, they just got bigger, that as happens with bands. But just to be included in helping develop the genre and the scene, and we influenced people and people influenced us, and it was just kind of one big soup at the time with a lot of the bands, and it was fun being part of it.
Here's, let me ask you something. This is a picture that is this Bill O'Leary in the middle?
That's me and Rat. Oh yeah, I guess it is.
It is, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Love the Farrah Fawcett
I was
poster
gonna
in
say,
the background.
sit in the background.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty. That time stamps it, because an Aerosmith shirt and a Motorhead or Marshall shirt, that could be any time. But the Farrah poster tells you that it's early on.
But it is,
It's early on in the game. Let me see if there's
there was a question earlier, I think.
Please
about,
go ahead, Lori. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. My bad.
Moving into Under the Influence. So about your bass tone and how it evolved and how it actually influenced a lot of metal bass players from then on. So can you talk to us a little bit how that?
I get that. I mean, people say that to me a lot, which is fun, and that's cool to hear. That I hear all the time about that DD sound, that Overkill sound, and that was part of a way, like we were talking earlier about. You got to step up. The guitars and thrash metal are a fucking train, man. And you can either get scooped up and sucked away, or you can fight back. And it's more in my personality to fight back. So and we were just a 4-piece band at the time. So it'd be like the bass had to carry the band when there was a solo, and it would be like, if it was just like this, boom, 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 kind of sound. It was just like, it didn't have any attack. It didn't have any. It couldn't carry it on its own. So I just
guitar, it would kind of drop out a little.
Yeah. So I was always trying to play and get a sound that would carry the band when a solo would happen. And that just kind of led to getting, like a little bit more treble, and it just, and I think the way I play too is, I play, part of why my shoulders are wrecked is I play hard. So I don't even have to like use a compressor on the bass one, even in the studio, because I hit every note every time as hard as I can. They're all exactly the same. It's absolutely, you watch my tracks, they're absolutely consistent, because that's the only way I know how to play. And I think that helps contribute to the sound too. It's all down picking. It's as hard as I can play on both hands. And that just contributes to the sound too. But that was really just out of necessity more than anything else, just trying to find a way through the wall of guitars.
Right on.
That makes sense. Rob King 72 says, please, can Overkill play in London soon? I've never seen you guys live.
Oh, we've played in London 1 million times. So you may
you need to get out of your. Hey, Rob, get the fuck out of your house, will you?
Where you been, Rob?
But this could be a kid who's 22. You know what I mean? That's
right.
That's the thing. So he could be a little bit of a newbie. But we'll make the rounds as we always do.
Yeah.
We got a new record next year, and then we'll just start ramping up.
This is interesting, this perspective. Since a thrash metal family, since Overkill opened for Megadeth on the Peace Sells tour in '87, I want to hear DD's thoughts on the band doing a final world tour. Bands that sort of go out, hey, this is it for us, and then, I mean, have you guys ever sort of considered that?
I don't know that we've ever really talked about it, as I think, you see bands like Megadeth calling it a day, right? Sepultura.
Yeah, that's what he's saying. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't know how Megadeth's going to do it. Have to see how theirs pans out, but I had a lot of respect for Sepultura and how they did it. They did it in a good way. I always had, and then there's another band I think we played with maybe once. We don't have a lot of personal relationship with them, but I always had a lot of respect for them. They seemed like they're just a class act. Like they carried themselves well. I always, from afar, would say, that seems like a stand-up band to me. So I liked the way they did it. Megadeth was a little bit of a shock. I was like, wow, Megadeth's calling it a day. I could see, you start doing it for a certain amount of time, and it's like, okay, we're going to go. One of the things about getting older, not just in the band, but just I think getting older, is you don't get as many firsts. You know, I remember the first time we went to Japan,
That's
the first
interesting.
time we went to Europe, the first time we played with Motorhead, the first time we played at Wacken. You know, it's like, okay, I played Wacken like a dozen times now. I've been to Japan, you know, a dozen times. So it's, you know, you grab onto those firsts when they show up. Like we played Jakarta a little while ago. It's the first time I was ever there in all these years. You know, I look forward to those more than I have. But I could see, you know, being a band, especially both those bands have been around for so long, you get to a point where it's like, maybe it doesn't have the same buzz that it used to, or maybe you're just interested in something else. I don't know. I haven't seen Dave in a while, but maybe, you know, he just wants to hang out with his family and drink wine in Italy. And, you know, it's like, okay, you know, you get to do what you want.
It's also like a family pull to it too. You know, you grow older and you realize like, I kind of like just hanging around with my family. Right?
Yeah, well, for me, even, you know, because I've missed a couple of things now, and so I've been home, and so I get a little bit of a taste of that, and I'm like, never knew, because you're so used to just grinding it out. It's like, you know, it's pretty great being home. I gotta say, you know, my wife's retired now, and we have, you know, the money situation is all good, and life is pretty fucking good. So I could understand it. I could see it.
Yeah.
Is there in the same kind of vein, is there any a place or two that when you see it on the itinerary, like are there any places that just really have through the years embraced Overkill, and when you see, oh, we're going back there again, oh hell yeah, like are there any like real hot spots that have always loved Overkill?
Germany a lot of times feels like a second home, like Frankfurt, Bochum, almost anywhere in Germany. We have so many friends there. We played so many fucking shows there. It really feels like when we play Jersey. It's a hometown show. Friends we've known forever. Their kids come down too. So Germany has always felt like kind of like that. South America tends to be like that just as far as the shows, just because we don't play there as much. So they're very enthusiastic, as the Latin people like to be, and they so there's a lot of different vibe. There's a lot of singing, so that you know, it's kind of you look forward to too. I know I started maybe about 10 years ago, like you know, for me with Overkill, even just in general with being in the band, I could care less about seeing the world. It's like playing Paris. The fact that it's Paris doesn't mean anything to me. It's just the gig is what matters. So that's the way I was for like 30 years. You know, we could be playing right in downtown Paris. I wouldn't even walk around. I'd be more worried about the lights, but more worried about the band, the crew. Are they setting up? What's going on? That's what all my energy was, all of it. But the last 10 years, my wife would be like, get out, go see some shit, go do something. And so I have been more so, and
that's good.
I've kind of been enjoying that a little bit, which I didn't for you know, many years. It didn't. Like I said, it wasn't really exciting that it was London. It was exciting because it was another gig, and that's kind of where it was. But now I get out and, oh God, even in the States, the last one we were on, I wandered around New Orleans, and I went on the steamboat up and down the Mississippi and listened to a jazz band, you know, and I went to see Chicago and Barcelona in Spanish. That was fun to do. Yeah. And I went to
the band Chicago in Spanish.
No, not the band.
The play.
Yes, the musical. Come
He's
on.
into musicals now.
Yes.
Saturday in the Park, like
in Spanish.
Oh my God.
That sounds cool.
No, it was She Had It Coming. She Had It Coming.
Yeah.
I saw that. I went to see Wicked in London, and all the witches had British accents. And down there, I saw Spam-A-Lot in London, which was fucking
the
amazing.
Monty Python thing.
Which
that's a good place to see it.
Yeah, it was cool. So the last little bit, I've gotten out there a little bit more and tried to see a little bit more than the dressing room, the bus, and the inside of a venue.
Sure.
Mhm.
Sure.
Nice. Yeah.
Okay. Right on. The future, as we head down the home stretch here, wrap it up. Plans for the future. What are your hopes and dreams?
Well, a lot of the Overkill record is pretty much in the books for me. Blitz will have to get that, and we'll have to kind of start that. But a lot of this year is going to be working on this Cadillac record, Cadillac Band record. So that we just put out in, when was that? November, maybe? Something like that. And we've been doing some social media stuff, but we have some stuff in the works for that for in the fall and into Christmas time. And so pretty excited about that. Hoping that comes together in a big way. And then, next year will be a new Overkill record and, a chance to go see some more musicals.
Great.
Out on the road.
We're definitely
So,
gonna be looking out for those Cadillac shows. So, yeah.
Oh yeah. I'm hoping we have a new management that we're working with right now, and they have some ideas and some different things that they're bringing to the table, and so we'll see. I'm hoping to, because like I said, I really love the record, really proud of the record, and really excited to do some more shows with that.
Yeah.
Are you playing the European Overkill shows?
This summer we have some festivals. Yes.
Nice.
There you go.
Yeah.
Nice.
You asked for it, you got it.
Yeah, those are easier. You just fly out, fly back.
Yeah.
Not so bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not like 30 shows in a row.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I know we're trying to wrap it up, but these are some good questions. Is the new Overkill album going to be self-produced, or will you bring in a producer?
Well, we'll do it. We've done the last, oh God, I don't know how many.
We've done the last 15, right?
Probably something like that.
Right.
And then we bring in somebody to mix. And we've had the last 3 records. We had Andy Sneap do one, we had Zeus do one, and we had Colin Richardson do one. So those are 3 of the best mix guys that are out there. So
yeah, those are 3 assassins right there, man.
Yeah, they're all fucking great. But Andy's in Judas Priest now, and he's not doing stuff anymore. But maybe Colin, maybe Zeus. We like working with both of them before. I don't know. We really haven't gotten to that point yet where we're kind of decided what exactly we're going to do.
Cool. DD, I want to thank you so much for coming on the show. I know it's getting late. I want to let you get back to your family and have dinner with them. But anybody you want to thank, anybody you want to shout out?
Well, my guys at the ShopRite. That's the guys in the meat department and dairy. Those are the guys that are hooking me up. I don't have to go to the butcher anymore. I can just go to the Stop and Shop.
Yeah, that's great. That's great.
All right.
Cool. Thank you, man. We'll talk to you soon.
You bet.
All
Thanks,
right,
guys.
Take care. Bye-bye. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Dude,
I hope we can get out to a show and see the Cadillac bands.
Yeah, we'll do that. I think they do stuff in the holidays, and that'd be a really fun thing, to do. And hey, thanks everybody out there. That was a great show. A lot of smart questions, and it was really great. It was really a good show. And
yeah, we highly recommend you checking out all of the bands. His solo project is great. Verni, the
Bronx Casket Company is awesome. I really enjoyed it.
That's a lot of fun. So yeah, all of the bands.
Thank you, Hideous Strength. Thank you, Francis, Rob King, everybody, Joshy, everybody that tuned in today. And we will be back on Sunday. It's Easter Sunday.
Easter Sunday.
Listen, Easter Sunday. Listen, not everybody's. Pardon the pun. Not everybody's hopped up on Easter Sunday. So, Brian Fair,
like the rest of us, tune in.
Brian Fair will be on Sunday, and if you don't watch it, I'm going to bring him on, and we're just going to talk about the Grateful Dead. So, if you don't watch it, if you don't mind your P's and Q's. So,
well, you got all the Grateful Dead stuff out of the way. Now you can talk about other stuff.
Listen, no.
No.
Grateful Dead. That's all me and that guy really want to talk about. Drew, would you ever get Colin or the Cockspur guys on? You know, it's funny that came up the other day about that. And yeah, and you know who else I've been speaking to? And I'm not saying he's coming on the show, and that's Waddy. I've been talking to Waddy. I've been back and forth with Waddy, and of course, Waddy would be a great guest, but getting Waddy on the show basically is like a 3-year process. So there you go. Now you got to get Blitz for an episode. Yeah.
We've been trying.
Every time I see Bobby Blitz, he's like, "Yeah, I'll come on the show." Yeah. And then he sort of flits off.
We gotta find out if he has like an organizer or something, like a person who PR person,
a handler,
for lack of a better right.
Yeah.
So.
But yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot of show. I mean, there's a lot of shows booked. I mean, the shows right now are like
the shows are booked all the way to
way into the future, my friends. I mean, they're booked right now through June 3rd.
July 15th.
July 15th?
Yeah. Sent you that one today.
Oh, you want to tell them who it is? Go ahead.
Well, today we locked in a Mr. Joey Vera from Armored Saint and Fates Warning. Yes. Yep. So we got him. The people asked for it, and we delivered.
Welcome to the New York Thrash Metal Chronicles Live.
Yes. Yes. Just locked that in today. I'm excited about it. Another very prolific bassist. So should be very cool.
Did you see Did you see his doc? I gotta watch this thing before. Obviously, I gotta watch this thing before he comes on the show. Yeah. But yeah. Joe Frank, you got to play catch up. Life's been crazy. Listen, the best way to watch the show, Joe, is when you're driving down the highway, put it on and like watch the show and drive down the highway at the same time. That's like the best way to watch the show. So there you go.
Yep.
All right. Well, there you have it.
Thank you.
Anybody you want to thank? Anybody you want to shout out?
You know, I always like to shout out my women of the pit, everybody in the group. Thanks for watching. Everybody in the chat room, thank you. So I try to keep up as much as possible in there, but yeah.
Rochelle, if you're watching the show, bring home feta cheese for dinner. We need feta cheese. Speaking of the Stop and Shop, Rochelle, if you're watching the show on the way home, we need feta cheese. So
I got a text from Marco. He's like, "Thoughts on dinner?" I was like, "Oh, I don't know."
All right. I'll talk to you soon. Thank you.
Take care, everyone.
All right. Well done, gang. That was awesome. Thank you so much. Yeah. Good. It's going to be a feta cheese type of night, kind of. Actually, it's not, because she's probably not watching the show. Thanks a lot, everybody. We'll see you in a couple days. What a fantastic show. Until next time, do good things, and good things will come to you.
Conditioned by indoctrination, conditioned by society. You're a victim of the digital age, a 21st century casualty. Open your eyes,